Welcome to another show of Naturalist F, where I'm your host, Dr. Ferrante Frazier. I am a holistic doctor, not a medical doctor, not a herbologist, or any of those so-called drugging mentalities or modalities. But what we do is we coach individuals into healthy lifestyle habits that is conducive to health, meaning that the lifestyle that we put you in automatically produces health in you because those are the requirements that the body needs. That's the condition the body needs. All right. So it's like, for example, if we was horticulturists, we would teach you how to properly take care of roses. You know, the air quality that the roses need to be in, how much sunlight they need to be in, the best place to plant them, what the soil pH need to be like, what type of soil you need to have. So we give you the conditions of the rose, or we give you the conditions of the watermelon plant, or we give you the conditions for the tulips. Whatever the plant is, we give you the condition. Now, we don't give you remedies and herbs, different bug sprays and all that type of stuff, you know, stuff the so-called force the plant to grow, with this miracle grow and different stuff like that. Miracle grow is not needed when you got the right conditions for your fruits and vegetables. I grow huge, beautiful, succulent fruits and vegetables without using any type of chemicals or miracle grows or any of that stuff. I use pure nature, but I know the conditions to make the zucchini grow naturally and wholesome and good. So this same thing with the human body. We know the conditions. So I am not a medical doctor. If you're looking for medical advice, this is the wrong show. I'm not a herbalist, so if you're looking for some remedy or some herb to try, some new herb on the horizon, you're not going to find it here. There's nothing in our teachings has anything to do with medicine or herbs or remedies or any so-called cures. What we do is believe that the body heals itself and cures itself. Matter of fact, we think that the disease is the cure. Your cough is the cure to some large poison in your throat, in your esophagus, in your lungs, that was in your body that need to come out, but it's coming out via the nasal, via the lungs. So even diarrhea to some looked at as a disease, but it's actually trying to rid the body of putrefying waste that done got caught up in the digestive tract. So every disease, matter of fact, in this book, The 10 Ways of Health, I don't know if you can see it there, The 10 Ways of Health. And you can find this book on Amazon, The 10 Ways of Health. You want to get that book. And that's actually what our topic is going to be on today. But in there, there's a section that talks about disease, not the enemy. A lot of us, we think disease is actually the enemy, but the disease is actually your foe. It's your friend. You know what I'm saying? It's actually the cure. How else are you going to get rid of this waste matter out of your lungs except for coughing? How else are you going to get this waste material out of you except for sweating? How else is you going to keep toxins away from the rest of your vital organs unless you put it into a capsule, a tumor, or a polyp, or wind, or some other form of barrier around the poison, keeping it away from vital tissues and stuff? So disease is not an enemy. Now it can still kill you if you don't correct the problem. You still need to know what's causing your disease. you know Not learn how to palliate, how to suppress it, what's the best drug, what's the best herb, what's the best remedy to get rid of my disease. No, the best thing for you to do is find out what's producing it. Now, I always use the scenario of a drunk man. He's know what's poisoning him and causing him to slur at the mouth, causing him to have, fall asleep, excessively urinate all over himself, slob out the mouth, have fever and sweating, all the symptoms of sicknesses you see when people just indulge in poison. People can take medicine and they show signs or symptoms of, disease. Matter of fact, at the At the back of the commercial, when they get finished telling you all the good things that the drug does, it start talking lower and start telling you all the bad things it do too that may occur. Might even be death. All I needed was to make sure that I put a little salve on my hand to stop that little itching. But in doing so, it may result in pancreatic cancer. It may result in, early premature death and weakening of the immune system and all type of stuff like that. All just because of the irritation of the hand, you know. But I can find out what's irritating the hand, remove it, and then I don't even have to use the medicine, and I don't have to have the irritation. Just like the drunk man. The drunk man don't have to use herbs or remedies or different medicines to, sober him up, to stop him from excessively urinating, to bring his fever down. Because, you get hot when you get on that liquor now. You get hot, you know. So, would it be the ideal thing to do to, stop drinking? You remove the cause. What's causing his fever? What's causing his drunkenness? What's causing his excessive urination, his slurring of the speech, his blacking out, and all type of different symptoms that alcoholics go through? It's alcohol. So you remove the alcohol, you don't need to take anything. All you need to do is let it run a course. As it run a course, you don't have to worry about the sickness anymore. You just gotta let it run a course. Now, our show and our topic is on the 10 ways of health. And like I said, in this book, it'll teach you a lot. The first half of it is changing your mindset towards what you believe health is. All right. What you believe disease is. Matter of fact, I'm going to read the contents of this book for you. The first part of the book is dealing with a good introduction to natural hygiene and health. But part one of the book is understanding our system, which is the hygienic system. You understand what natural hygiene is, because if you've been following this show, you always hear me claiming that I'm a teacher of natural hygiene or our nature cure. But natural hygiene is the system that I learned in college that not only helped me correct the health issues that I was suffering from, but I've helped countless individuals by teaching them the same principles of natural hygiene. Those principles are non-drugging, they're non-curing, they're non-medical, they're all natural, meaning that those are the things that the body requires, you must have if you are to be healthy. And so the 10 ways of health is more of a overall view of those ways of health. Now, the 10 ways of health don't mean that, I got one way you can try, and if that way don't work, then try way two. And if that don't work, then we can go to way three. Nah, that's not the 10 ways of health. The 10 ways of health are like ingredients of health. You need each ingredient to bring about sound health. You need way one, but you also need way two. And you also need way three and four and five and six and seven and eight and nine and 10. All of them need to be in unison practice in your life. And when you come out of it, out of your sickness, it'll be because you've practiced those 10 ways of health. You won't need no type of medicines, no remedies, anything like that. You won't need anything. All you need is the 10 ways of health. And that's what natural hygiene is all about, teaching you the 10 ways of health. Now, you remember I did say 1 hour chapters in here was disease is not the enemy. And I just gave you a little rundown of how that is. Because most people, think they have to fight disease. Oh, I got to stop the cough. Oh, I got to stop the sneeze. Oh, I got to stop that diarrhea. No, you don't want to stop it. What you want to do is remove the cause of it. My stomach is hurting because I've been eating bad, or I'm worrying. My pressure is up because I'm dealing with stress, physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress, spiritual stress, whatever stress is going to make the organism have to work harder. And so, yeah, you'll have more pressure. The whole body is alive. That's another chapter of the book. The whole body is alive. We may think that certain areas of the body is not that important, or is really not needed, not necessary. We take out the tonsils, we take out the adenoids, we take out half of the colon, half of the stomach, we take out other organs such as the gallbladder. We take out a kidney, we take out a lung, we chop off the breast. We do all these different, you'll say, witchcraft, trying to produce health in our body. We're sacrificing parts where we can continue our bad habits. I'm not willing to give up the bad habit of eating, of drinking, of smoking, or whatever. I'd rather give you an arm. I'd rather give you a lung. I'd rather give you a kidney. I'd rather give you a body part or organ or tissue or cells. I'd rather be in misery before I give up my cheeseburger with bacon on top of it. I'd rather, suffer before I give up my smoking, my drinking, or whatever the bad habit that's wearing down the body, that's destroying the body, that's destructive to the organism. We're unwilling to give that up. But the whole body is alive. And the whole body is working together to bring about a symbiotic relation, environment, a good environment, or this thing called life. All right. So we may have it where, let's say that, you take a laxative. Now, you take a laxative because you feel constipated. Now, constipation, if you can understand this, constipation is a colon that is tired, it's fatigued, it needs rest. So even though you're eating, the colon has stopped working because it needs rest. Obviously, you've been working it too much. You've been going to the bathroom constantly, but now you have no power to go. So the colon backs up, but you're steady eating. You're steady eating. So you're putting waste on top of waste. Now, let's say you take a laxative. Now, this laxative is very toxic. Now, the colon don't have no energy. But when you take this laxative in, which is a poison, this poison is threatening the whole organism to death. It's irritating. It irritates the colon. It irritates the stomach. It irritates everything it touches as it goes down in your body. Now, the body sees this as a threat. If it don't take action to this poison, then it will succumb and die. But the body in its wisdom and the law of self-preservation will at all times preserve itself. It will act to defend and protect itself from all invasion, intrusion, wear and tear, and all type of stuff. So the first law of life is self-preservation. So as it tends to preserve itself, the brain might have some power, the lungs may still have some power, the heart may still have some power. So when this poison is taken into the body, this laxative, it irritates the colon, but the colon still don't have no power. So the rest of the organs and tissues have to lend their power. This is called the law of distribution, where the body will distribute energy to the necessary organs to protect the whole organism. Now imagine if the brain say, well, I'm not going to give none of my energy to the colon. I need my own energy. Well, then when the colon is dead and gone, well, so will the heart end up dying as well. It will die along with it. The brain as well. The whole body dies when the vital organs and tissues and systems are no longer working. You know, they die. So the body must work symbiotically together. So if one in trouble, they have to rally troops and send it to the other organ to help defend the whole body. If I let my brother get beat up, then it weakens the whole body, and then the whole body end up dying. So I'm going to protect my brother long as I have energy. I'm gonna send him energy. But now in doing so, the heart becomes weak, the brain becomes weak, because they too are not only using it for their own self, but they're also lending it to a brother, the colon. So eventually the whole body succumb to this low energy, low functioning power. Now you see your vitality is way low. Organs and tissues are not healing good. They're not working properly. And now you're suffering not only with one issue, you're suffering with multiple issues. This is the progression of disease. But the whole body is alive. And we're going to move on. You'll learn all this and more in this book, The 10 Ways of Health. You go to Amazon, just look it up, The 10 Ways of Health by Dr. Ferrante Frazier, and all you have to do is type in. It's a couple of books up there you might be interested in reading. So, another chapter of the book is the cause and nature of disease. You know, what's causing your disease? You remember I told you you don't have to take medicines and herbs and remedies. You have to find out what's causing your disease. Well, in that chapter, you will know what's causing your disease. No matter what you're going through, the cause of that disease is in this chapter. All right. So if you need guidelines or need some tools to help you detect what's in your life that's causing your sickness, causing your issues, causing your suffering, then this would be the ideal book for you, because it teaches you the cause of it. Not only does it teach you the cause of your disease, but it also makes you aware the nature of that disease. Why is it happening? What's caused it, and why is it happening? And then once you know the cause of the cough, and you know the nature of a cough is to free the body of waste, then you know you don't have to get bamboozled when you get sick. You'll know what it is, you'll know how to fix it rapidly, and it'll be passed gone for you. Now, the next chapter. That's a pretty long chapter here. I'm turning pages. Understanding vital energy. You know, you keep hearing me talk about vitality, power, functioning power, life force, biotic force, all this force, that power, you know, all our organs and tissues and cells run with power. They need power to function properly. The colon need power to, in the muscles to squeeze out that waste. The heart need power to beat and push blood around it. The brain need power to send nerve signals throughout the body to get activity going and to cause this orchestra of activity going on in the body. Because the brain is like the maestro, it's making everything go in harmony, but it has to have power to do so. All right. So you'll learn about vital energy or nerve energy. We call it in natural hygiene, nerve energy. So when we get to part 2, we go into the 10 ways of health. And that's actually what we're going to be talking about today. But you can get more detail and have it in your, in your library when you get the book. All right. All you have to do is go to Amazon and grab it and learn about the ways of health, the 10 ways of health. We start off with the way of health called cleanliness. All right. I'm going to put the book over to the side. And I'm going to teach you from my notes. But the energy enhancer or the ways of health, number one way. And remember, I'm not talking about the number one way as if you do this, this is the best way to get healthy. No. I'm saying out of the all the ingredients needed for you to have health, this is one of the ways, and it is cleanliness. Cleanliness is one of the ways that you can start changing your health around. The, this is external cleanliness and internal cleanliness. Now, external cleanliness is pretty much keeping the body and the hair washed, the nails clean, and the teeth brushed. All right. Now, not with that fluoride stuff, but just make sure that the teeth don't have any, food left in them or anything like that. So most people, when you think about cleanliness or hygiene, this is what they think about. But hygiene is more than just grooming yourself, artificially. But when you groom yourself inside and out, even in your lifestyles, now that is true hygiene. Internal cleanliness. This means keeping the bodily fluids and tissues pure and free of toxic buildup by avoiding enervation and toxemia. Now, those are two natural hygienic terms, enervation and toxemia. Enervation is low functioning power. We just got finished talking about power. We just got finished talking about nerve energy. Well, nerve energy, when it is low, we call enervation. Starts with an E. Enervation. That means low functioning power, low nerve energy, low vitality. In other words, you're in the red. You're running on E, on fumes. All right. Now, toxemia is another term used in natural hygiene, which is poison blood. Tox is short for toxins. Emia is short for blood. It's the scientific word for blood, emia. Like how some people have anemia. That's a low blood. You know, when you have blood issues, it be emia at the end. So here we term toxemia to mean poison blood. You put tox together and blood together, you get toxemia, poison blood. So when enervation happens, when you don't have no power in your body and you're still eating bad, drinking bad, living bad lifestyles, and even just from your daily wear and tear, you don't have enough power to eliminate waste out of your body. So waste builds up in your body. It's like you just don't have enough energy to take the trash out. Your colon don't work properly. Constipation. Your kidneys don't work properly. You have to take water pills and diuretics and all type of stuff because your kidneys is failing. The lungs is not exchanging oxygen and carbon properly. And you're having low oxygen in your blood. You're feeling fatigued. Your muscles are hurting and different things like that because you're starving of oxygen. Even though you're breathing, but no exchange. The lungs is unable to make the exchange and take the oxygen up into the blood. You're breathing it, but it's not changing at the point of change in the lungs. You're not getting rid of carbon. Carbon is building up in your body. All right. The liver that detoxified toxins and neutralize them, they are no longer operating properly. So it's all about keeping clean on the outside, but mainly on the inside. Now, you hear the story of John the Baptist and Jesus, cousins. John came baptizing with water, and Jesus came baptizing with the Holy Spirit. Now, one was baptizing the inward godliness to God, and the other one was, baptizing with a inward, righteousness to God. So, and that even dealing with spiritual righteousness, turning you into a holy man, a whole man. That's the Holy Ghost. Not half down, but not a fragmented man, but a holy man, a whole man. That's where holistic come from. It comes from the Saxon English word hal, Hal, to mean holy, sound, wholeness, health at the end of the day. They all come from the same root word. So you got to remember the energy enhancer here is have your little soap and water on the outside. Soap should be only in the problem areas, unless you work as a mechanic on a really dusty place. Then you'll use those abrasive things, but try to use more natural stuff if you are to have to use soap. And avoid auto intoxication on the inside. Avoid putting toxins on the inside of you, and make sure that you're getting enough rest and have high vitality that your organs on the inside can properly remove waste from wear and tear and any other foreign substances that might gain interest into the body. So that's a one way towards health. Let's go to way two. Way two is pure air. Pure air, like all the energy enhancers or the ways of health, is essential to nutrient. The pair of lungs is made up of 1 billion tiny cells. Each of us inhales 130 cubic inches of air a day. These tiny air sacs cells exchange carbon dioxide for oxygen on a continually basis. 125 barrels of blood a day flow through the lungs for this exchange. Here is where the poison and impurities of the body are brought to be cast out of the body as we exhale. Exhale with me. You just got rid of some waste. Exhale again. You just got rid of some more waste. Cells with normal stimulation to activate all its various functions. When the air we breathe is fresh and pure, it brings life to the body. It enhances our nerve supply. But when the air is filled with poisonous gases from pollution, it robs our precious nerve energy. All right. So when we're living in these homes that got a bunch of Febreze in there, candles we're burning, and we're not getting fresh air, and we sitting there huffing, we're sitting there huffing, and we're sitting there huffing, hot boxing, chemicals and poison, air wicks, candles in our cars. You know, the mask was killing us, but hey, you know, we're sitting in there with the windows rolled up, and we got them little fragrant trees, or we got the little air wicks in the vents. And I mean, it's just killing us, but we can't smell it no more. Our lungs are so dead. Our body is so adapted to the poison that it doesn't warn us anymore. A person who is not used to that get in there and say, oh God, I can't stand it. I got to get out of here. Toxic chemicals in the air are not only outside your window, you know, we got to think about the toxic chemicals that are in our home and in our workplace, under our control. You know, a lot of us think talking about, well, toxic air, well, what are we going to do about that? You know, we can't change the outside air, but the outside air better than the air you got inside your home. Because you actually got Pine Sol and Fabuloso and Febreze and what that bleach, Clorox bleach. You got Joy and all the other so-called chemicals. You're spraying colognes. You're spraying perfumes. Um, you got the gas burning. You got you know you got all kind of toxic fumes going on inside the house. You know, so that is a way of having toxic air that you can control. You can control all those things in your environment that you sleeping in, that you're dying in, that you're sitting in and eating in and stuff like that. The air we breathe is necessary because it furnishes us oxygen, for the processes that the body needs to sustain itself. If we live in a polluted area, little can be done to secure pure air except for get out of there and move. If you want to live, get up and move. Go to some place where you can breathe. If there's nothing else you can do, if you can't move, then start fighting legislators to stop that toxic air from going into your city, into your state and stuff. Get those nauseous power plants out of the city. That's throwing all that toxic fumes in the air. Put yourself in a position to breathe fresh air. All right, so let's go to energy enhancer number 3, or the ways of health number 3. All right, this is pure water. Now, have you ever seen the tube through which tap water or mineral or pure spring water runs in a water distiller? Within a few weeks of distilling mineral water or pure spring water or regular tap water, the diameter completely fills with impurities that collect and then solidify. So those who are attempting to expose the toxic factor in our drinking water supply today call our tap water chemical cocktails, because it has so many chemicals diluted in our water. Now, all you have to do is go to your local water supply website and see what they do to treat your water. They're treating the water. How do they do so? They put so many chemicals into your water. One, we know that everybody know, but no one is even saying anything about it. No one is even caring about it. We openly allow the government to medicate us with fluoride. Now, they say fluoride is necessary for us to stop tooth decay. And some people will want to argue about that. Well, we got that in our toothpaste. Why do we need it in our drinking water? Why do we need to have it put in our food? If, it's a lot of drugs they say helps prevent stuff. Why is it not in our water? Why is it not in our food? Why only fluoride? Why fluoride is the only drug that they're saying that is needed for something in our body, that it has to be put into our water? We have to unknowingly, unconsciously be drugged and medicated. Now, if you do a little research about fluoride, you'll see that fluoride is an active ingredient in, Prozac. You'll see that it's used in rat poison. There's also, has been another government that used to use it, Adolf Hitler, in the Nazi camps. They used to put fluoride in the drinking water of the refugees. All right. So all those Jews were sitting there drinking fluoride water. But now, what did this do? What was the purpose behind Hitler putting fluoride in the water of the refugees? Well, it made them docile. Why did they put it in Prozac? Well, what is one of the main symptoms of taking Prozac? It's going to bring you down. Just like these perks and all these other stuff, they are to docile you, to bring you down, make you less active, turn you into a zombie. Somebody who doped up on something like a Prozac, you don't gonna see them come together and fight and break loose and try to escape. They too out of their mind to fight back and to rally troops and come up with any type of significant battle strategy. So we just drug them. Well, why is our government giving us fluoride? What's the purpose? Is it really tooth decay? If you want to believe that, then fine. Why are we still suffering with so much tooth decay? Think about that. Pure water is ideal. A lot of people are into this alkaline water right now. A lot of people is into the spring water. All these different types of water on the market today. But just because they want to change the name, they want to say alkaline water is better. Well, what is mineral water? Is mineral water not alkaline water? It depends on what minerals it is, but it's still spring water, mineral water. How much minerals or what mineral is in the water is determine the name. You can go and get some well water. That's mineral water. You can smell the egg, the fish smell, and all that because it got a lot of sodium in it. Whatever, mineral that is in high demand, give it taste, give it smell, and maybe even give it color. But pure drinking water is H2O, nothing less and nothing more. H2O is all that your body needs. It don't need minerals, electrolytes, alkaline materials, spring materials, any of that stuff in it. Imagine drinking from a spring. What all is in a spring? You think spring water is clean? No one would go up to a spring and just start drinking it because they're watching animals bathe in that water. They're watching no fish die in that water. Animals die in there. They boo-boo in the water. They urinate in the water. So, why would I want to drink that? I want to drink clean, pure distilled water. Rainwater. Rainwater is ideal, because distilled water mimics rainwater. You might still want to distill the rainwater we got today because, all the toxic stuff we get them put up into the air, from all these mining and all this manufactured plants, all these planes in the air and all type of other poisons they done shot up in the air with all them so-called chemtrails and different things of that nature that, people are going to say is a conspiracy theory. All right? Y'all keep thinking everything is a conspiracy theory. That's how the devil gets us. Create doubt and make the truth seem like it's a lie. Where you'll believe the lie rather than the truth. That's what you call a strong delusion. The Bible speaks of that. Also talks about the reprobate mind. All right, so let's go to just before we go there. The body is made up of, 72% water. Water is the most abundant nutrient found in the human body. The average person holds about 44 quarts of water in his body. He takes in and loses about 3 quarts a day. Water is continually being lost through the kidneys, through the bowels, through the lungs, through the skin, and water must be continually replenished. Replenishment takes place in 3 ways. Through the fluids we drink, actively drinking the water. Through the foods we eat. If you're eating watermelon, you're getting a bunch of water. Oranges, pineapples, and stuff like that. And through the body's own internal oxidation process at the cellular level, where the hydrogen in the nutrients assimilated is combined with inhaled oxygen. Now, what is water? H2O. So the byproduct of eating wholesome food, your body releases hydrogen. And when you breathe in oxygen, hydrogen and oxygen meets in your body and forms the bond that produces water. This is almost like how you heard Jesus say, hey, I'll make it where you have to thirst no more. When you're eating properly and you're breathing properly, you'll have a well of water springing up in you. You won't thirst no more Thirst is only because you're not eating properly. You have to drink water because you're eating these foods that require you to drink water, dry foods, salty foods, sour foods, sweet foods, foods that don't have no fluid in them, you know. So yes, you get thirsty. You need water to dilute those crystals, those sugar crystals, those salt crystals, and all the other toxic ingredients that we're putting into our body. But if we don't want to thirst no more, and we want to have a well of water springing up in us, then we need to eat the proper foods such as fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, and breathe fresh air that we can have H2O building and creating itself right inside of us. Now, ain't that good news? So, the best water to drink when we're unable to catch rainwater and distill it is distilled water. All right. So let's go to number four. The fourth way towards health is adequate rest, relaxation, and sleep. You know, it's really no way that you can get energy. We talked about vital energy, and recuperation power. To recuperate your power, you must cut off from all activities. When you're active, you're using power. This is also in the Bible. It says, when I am weak, then I am strong. When I am strong, I am weak. So to be weak, you're 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 actually being still. You're not doing anything. You're in a position of weakness, but while you're sitting there doing nothing, you're getting stronger. Your body is recuperating. Energy is being regenerated in your cells and tissues. When you're actively using your strength, power, beating stuff, grabbing stuff, you look strong, but you're using energy. You're getting weaker. And by the time you finish working, now you're tired and you're innervated. So you become weak. The best way to restore and recuperate energy is through rest and sleep. You know, there is no other way to get energy. These energy drinks, these energy pills, or any type of other so-called, you know, unnatural way to anything other than sleep and rest is not a true energy enhancer. What it's doing is forcing energy, forcing reserve energy. It's tapping into your backup battery. Because you got a battery that allows you to, go through the day. When you go to sleep, you charge your battery up and it allows you to go through the day. Now, if you so-called run out of energy and you're still working, you can tap into a reserve that you've been storing up since you was born. But if you keep tapping into this reserve, then you quickly squander away your life savings. So you don't have enough energy to carry you for the long haul. But also, if you every day you conserve your activities that you have extra energy at the end of the day, that extra energy can be saved to a reserve fund. So it goes into your savings account that can be used later on in life. Now, the next energy enhancer, or the next one, is the ideal diet. The ideal diet is the most pristine diet known to man, that man can be healthy and that he actually is supposed to live on. Now, most people may not wish to eat this way, but this is the way, the ideal way. You know, you can deviate from the ideal path as much as you want to, but the ideal way gets you straight there without any hiccups, without ever getting lost or anything. But when you deviate to the right or to the left, you might suffer some hiccup. You might even get a flat tire or some other so-called issue. So it's the same thing. When you deviate from the ideal diet, then yeah, you might end up with the hiccup. You might end up with a little stomach ache. You might end up with a headache. You might end up with some other issue, weight gain, and different things of that nature. But when you're on the ideal diet is that ideal. Now, what is the ideal diet? The ideal diet is fresh, wholesome fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds in their uncooked, natural state, eaten in modest amounts and proper combinations, while in a state of rest and emotional balance. So you can't be eating under stress. You can't be eating in a hurry on the go while you're worrying about something, while you're in fear. That's not a good time to eat. Digestion is suspended under those conditions. There's no way that food can digest under those conditions. Now, fresh, wholesome fruits and vegetables, meaning that they don't need to be cooked. They don't need to be chopped up and put in some plastic bags and held at McDonald's. You know, the apples done been cut up for months, and they in the bag still looking green as I don't know what. Something wrong with them. Believe that. You know, you want to eat your food whole. You don't want it chopped up and cut up. Now, if that's all you got, then hey, it's better than eating a burger or some some chicken and fries and stuff like that. It's always better than that. But we're talking ideal here. I'm only giving you the ideal. Now you can deviate it, like I said, as much as you want. You know, it's ideal that you eat the fresh, wholesome, whole fruit. But if all you got is the cut up fruit, then okay. But the ideal way to eat it is as nature gave it to you. And eat them in the right combination. Like certain fruits don't go well with other fruits. Like acid fruits don't go well with sweet fruits. Like bananas and oranges are not a good combination. You know, bananas are sweet. Your grapes are sweet. That's a good combination. Figs, dates, you know, persimmons. All those are good fruits that can eat and go well with each other. On the other hand, acid fruits such as pineapples, oranges, lemons, kiwis, and strawberries, elderberries, all those are should be eaten together because they're acid. Now there are subacid fruits as well, fruits that can go with any fruit, such as apples, pears, peaches, plums, mangoes, papayas, things of that nature. Those can pretty much go either way. You can eat them with the acid fruits or you can eat them with the sweet fruits. What we'll do is we'll have a show on food combining coming up soon where it can help you understand those things. Or you can easily just look up and Google food combining charts and food combination, and it will teach you exactly what I'm talking about here. You know, so get that in your knowledge, get that in your bank up here. Program it inside of you. All right, so number 6 is adequate sun and natural light. It's ideal that we get, sunlight. We need sun for a whole host of issues. The human body needs natural sunlight to be taken in 2 forms: exposure on the skin itself, not you standing out there with your clothes on. You need to be out there with as much bare skin as you possibly can without the police locking you up. Now, if you go to the beach, you can almost go out there naked. You know what I mean? And it's okay to be naked at the beach, but you can't be naked, on your back porch, on your front lawn. But at the beach, it's okay to be naked. That makes no sense. But okay. But also, you need to get it through the eyes, exposure through the eyes. All right. So, but through the eyes, you want to start off slowly. You want to close your eyes and look at the sun only between the hours of 7 and 9 o'clock. All right. And then again from 5 to around about, till, it go down. So you want to see the sun rise and you want to see the sun set. Those are the times you want to be out into the sun, get in the fresh air, get in the sunlight, exposure on the skin and through the eyes. That is the ideal time. All right. So there's a book by Dr. Kime, Kime. It's a fabulous book named Sunlight. It tells you all the benefits of the sun, exposure to the sun. All right, so number 7 is right temperatures. We got a storm coming, and I'm almost running out of time. So I'm going to, plow through these last couple of ones. We only have a couple more, but if you want to go in more detail about it, go to Amazon and get this book. It's less than about $12 or $13. You get this book and it can help you get rid of the health issues that you're suffering with for only $13. Think about that. Energy enhancer, right temperatures, number 7. So we got 3 more to go after that. So right temperatures. Anytime, you're cold and hot. When you're hot, you're sweating. That's a waste of energy. When you're cold, your body having to use energy to keep itself warm. That's a waste of energy. Your whole objective is to keep energy in your body. Because the more you have energy, the more your body heals. The more your body is full of vitality. You don't want to waste it trying to keep yourself cool or trying to keep yourself warm. Try to maintain normal temperature. When you eat foods that are hot or eat foods that are cold, the body have to cool those foods down before it uses it. It have to warm those foods or drinks up before it uses it. That's a waste of energy. Drink, room temperature water and things of that nature. So let's go to Energy Enhancer 8 or the Way 8. All right, it's regular exercise. Regular exercise is ideal. We did a show not too long ago. If you go into the archives and you see some of the shows of Natural as Health, we had one talking about the lymphatic system and how the lymphatic system helps move waste out of the cells and out of the tissues to different pathways of the body via the thoracic duct, the subclavian vein, and allow toxins to be thrown into the blood system to be circulated out of the body to be eliminated out of the body. So the lymph fluid takes it out of the cell, dumps it into the circulatory system, into the blood, and then the blood takes it to an elimination organ, and then the elimination organ takes it out. The thing about it is the blood circulatory system got a heart that beats it around, but the lymph don't have a organ that circulates lymph. Lymph is moved by movement. When you move around, when you dance, notice how you have a little sweating going on and you have, like a sinus drip come from you, or when you're working out or exercising and stuff like that, you start having this drainage. That's lymph fluid moving. You have a massage. All that is lymphatic activity. All right, so regular exercise is ideal. Number 9, emotional balance. And number 10 is nurturing relationships. Those two go hand in hand together. When you have nurturing relationships, you're not under stress. And so you don't have to use energy. You don't have to worry. You don't have to be angry and all that type of stuff. So you don't have to be around toxic people, But also emotional balance, keeping the will to live, staying cheerfulness, having high self-esteem, freedom from addictions, and a purposeful life, that makes you feel good. It gives you energy. A person who don't have nothing to offer life or feel they don't have nothing to offer life, going through trauma and distress, they feel worn out. They feel drained. You don't want to feel that way. So make sure you follow the 10 ways of health. And if you can't remember what I said, just rewind this show and share this with a lot of people. And if you need to go in depth, go to Amazon and look up this book, The 10 Ways of Health by Ferrante Frazier. Look it up. If you don't want to order it off of Amazon and you're in the Savannah area, or if you're not, I can still ship it to you. Now, it will be shipping costly, but hey, easier to just go right there to Amazon and get it. So I thank you so much for all your, viewing. If you have any comments, please comment on our shows and definitely share them with other people. So I'm going to tell you for now, not bye, but later. I will talk to you later, and I want you to have a great week and practice the 10 ways of health, all 10 together simultaneously, and you're going to see a big difference in your health. So best of health and happiness from Savannah Natural Health. This is your health coach, Ferrante Frazier, and I'll talk to you later. Like that.
I like that.